should we do if a seller won't budge? I think it really depends on you. And here's the reason I say that. If this is the house that's down the street from Aunt Bessie and it's within your price point and you like all the elements in the house, but there are a couple things that you'd like or you want done, but they're not willing to budge on it, in my opinion, I think that that's an important consideration, meaning that you feel that your family fits in that home or that it's close maybe to some neighbors or family or something like that. In addition to just the dollars and cents to it. Markets are fluid. Markets go up, markets go down. But you can't always find the right house with the right amenities at the right time with your family situation, with kids or not kids or upsizing or downsizing and all those kinds of things, and animals and fences and all that. So I think the best advice that I can give people is this. Look at the house objectively, reach out to your real estate professional once you're done with us and ask them questions. You guys come to whatever you guys want to do. If it ultimately comes down to you're just not okay with it or you don't have the money or the resources to take care of those things, then you understand that you're willing to walk away from a house that before we even got there, you already had fallen in love with. That's the reason you called us there in the first place. So I think you got to have some objectivity to it, and you got to understand that, in my opinion, in most cases, that emotional side of it is probably even more important, unless there's some metrics that are insurmountable for you, things that you didn't plan on having to have as an expense coming up, and so now you're like, well, I don't have the money to do that. Okay, well, you've answered the question. But relative to a marketplace, sometimes there are some stubborn people that are selling houses and they just principally driven, they're just gonna wanna get a certain amount of money for their house. And if that's the case, hey, you might have to wait a little longer or they might have to wait a little longer. It just depends on the marketplace. But I can tell you that if it was a very hot market, one of the things I know for sure, they're probably gonna say, hey, you can pound sand. Why? Because it's a hot market. They know somebody else is gonna come along tomorrow, or they probably already got them in the backdrop and they'll just take their offer. If it's a buyer's market, that means that maybe the prices might be coming down a little bit or might be flat. Well, they might be willing to have a conversation with you. Why? Because who knows? The market might change a little bit in terms of the price and it's worthwhile for them just to engage at this point. But I usually find most sides of the transaction are pretty reasonable with each other most of the time. But yeah, sometimes there are those people that just, they're not gonna budge. And if that's the case, then you gotta get back to that emotional side of it and say, hey, is this something that regardless of whatever this is, that fits for us, we're okay with it and we want to move forward. That's your choice to make. Nobody else can make that for you, including us home inspectors or real estate professionals. All right.